I want you all to trust me and close your eyes. Now, tilt your head back as if you're looking up to a sky. And think of the last time when you were outside, maybe at a beach, a countryside, somewhere away from the city. There were no lights on, and all you could hear was the sound of the ocean or the insects, and the sky was vast in front of you. Now, open your eyes. Did all of you just see this? Some people, or even Google, don't. What I mean by this is that when we are asked to draw or search for a beautiful sky, we often come up with a blue sky with white clouds. This is also a sky, and it's beautiful. But why does the dark sky rarely show up? For those of you who did, you have just taken a look at something I was with throughout my childhood. For me, stars are not only a beauty that darkness has given to us, they were my source of inspiration in the happiest time and my comfort in the most miserable times. But today, I'm here because I'm worried that my generation, future generation, will not be able to see and acknowledge the values of stars anymore. Because of light pollution, this is what we see at present. Fewer than 200 stars in the sky, and this number is even fewer in cities. For me, stars can be a great source of inspiration, and we know how to take power from them. Let me tell you my story. This is Hanoi, the city I was born in 2004, the city of buildings and development. But my childhood was not at all about skyscrapers, shopping malls, or arcades. It was surprisingly peaceful, a childhood with different trips to the countryside and the presence of stars. When I was 6 years old, I had the first experience with the stars. This is a photo of my dad and I remember going to a beach in a small province in southern Vietnam with my parents. It wasn't the longest trip, but it was the most memorable one. It was almost midnight, and I was totally awake. You know, for a 6-year-old kid, you would probably yawn at 8 p.m. and fall asleep at 9 p.m. after watching a TV show. But that day, I wasn't feeling sleepy at all. It's like when you think of something great and you feel like you're totally awake. There, I had the best night ever, just lying on top of the sand and observe the stars. On those dark nights, stars were given a chance to shine brightly as if they were smiling at me. And at that moment, that tiny moment, I realized that all the stars I've seen before were not just luminous balls of gas. Instead, they are arts that nature had crafted, a source of inspiration for human beings. And as time goes by, the presence of stars has become my inspiration to dream, to overcome obstacles, and to create ideas. At 8 years old, stars become my inspiration to dream. I used to dream of becoming an astronomer who can observe and learn about the stars. And just like one of those nights watching the stars from my windows, I couldn't help but admire how beautiful and mysterious they were. And then I realized that stars were not only my dream, but they had been the dream of humankind for 1,000 years. In ancient Greek stories I loved to read when I was little, stars represented different constellations. There was one story about Alcula, the eagle which had the power to bring rain and was Zeus' lightning bolt keeper. And another one was about Leo, the lion associated with the story of Hercules and Nemean in ancient folks. They are the storytellers of a diversity of cultures around the world, the connection between the past, present, and future. I remember reading someone had said, if you're looking at a star, you're looking back in the past. Well, scientifically, this is because of the speed of light. But even simpler, this is because we all had that childhood under a dark night full of stars. And suddenly, we realize that as long as the stars are here, as humans are being connected. By now, you may be thinking, this is all a little girl's dream. And it would have been just that if it wasn't of what happened on my 9th birthday. It was when I faced with one of the most heart-wrenching situations in my life. A person who used to be my beloved teacher, the one who taught me before I even got into 1st grade, my protector when my mother was away abroad, and simply my family. My grandmother passed away. I was having a hard time to comfort myself, and every night I would look out at my windows and observe the stars, and somehow their beauty appeased my sadness. Looking at the stars, all the problems seemed to be less daunting, and upon the universe, maybe someone was experiencing the same thing as I was. And little me thought that maybe, just maybe, if I put faith in one of those stars up there, my grandmother will always be here. After that experience, the presence of stars became even more meaningful to me, and I know that it would be hard for me to live without them. By now, I am 14, going on to 15, and stars have been my inspiration to create ideas. Well, when I say this out loud, honestly, I couldn't help but wondering if I'm a little bit peculiar, because who would take stars that serious though? Then I went online and I looked up, and I found out that I wasn't alone. In fact, one of Van Gogh paintings was inspired by the luminous blue night in Provence, Starry Night. Also, without the presence of stars, numerous songs in the past and present would not have been written. The hit Counting Stars and our classic song Little Stars were both composed through the presence of these tiny sparkling figures. And look, without the stars, I would have been standing here in TEDx. Just like how we put faith in our own inspiration, stars are just stars until we put faith in it. And since stars have been with me since I was little, I'm now trying to take them back for all the little girls out there. But here's the problem. Do you know that light pollution is affecting more than 80% of our population, disrupting thousands of lives of nocturnal and invading the ecosystem severely? But most people never aware of this issue compared to water pollution or soil pollution. Since 1879, when Edison lighted the very first light bulb, the use of artificial light has become excessive. People use artificial light not only due to its convenience for lighting, but also to serve for our new technology development. Light pollution is the light falling in our room from outside at night, the light from factories, and the light from buildings in cities. While the rest of the world depends on darkness, including this owl, a kind of nocturnal, reptiles, and insects, and because of light pollution, these species are disappearing along with our Earth ecology. Our bodies also need darkness to produce melatonin, which prevents cancer from developing and sleep disorder from occurring. And because of light pollution, humans' health will be affected negatively, along with serious diseases that we might never be aware of. But even closer to us, in today's crowded, louder, fast-paced world, darkness provides the stillness from the stars, the beauty which inspires and comforts people. But because of light pollution, those stars are disappearing along with our ecosystem. And later in the future, what if our future generation will not be able to experience this stillness and be inspired by the stars again? The good news is, light pollution is within humans' ability to address. This is a program that 17 cities in the US are now participating in, Lights Out, which encourage people to turn off their lights every bird migration season in order to help the planet. The Worldwide Fund also promotes its annual event, Earth Hour, in order to save the planet. All of these help so much in tackling the issue of light pollution. However, as humans, can never address this issue until we know why the beauty of darkness need to be protected, why stars need to be protected. I want you all to go home tonight and think back in time. Think of that moment in your childhood where you might have been with the stars, how stars have inspired you to dream, to overcome obstacles, and to be creative. And if you used to have that dream of becoming an astronomer like me, go ahead and consider making it real again. Stars, as in my experience, does not only connect us to the past, but also the future. And now, however far away they may seem, stars can be very close and personal to us. I hope that next time when you reach out for your light, maybe, just maybe, you will think of those brightly little stars up there who are not only just stars, but our friends, our mentors, and our inspiration. Thank you.